Banana Quill.
This is Katie. Welcome to
To
Health
Health
Beats, episode
Episode 5.
5. We are so happy to be here with you guys again. We have a really special guest that we'd love to introduce to you all. Her name is Melody Lien, and she is a massage therapist. So she's here to tell us all about the gift and the art of massage therapy. We'll kind of talk to you guys about our experience with it and how it's this really incredible tool to help in your health and healing journey. So welcome, Melody.
Welcome, Melody. Thanks for joining
Hey,
us.
thank you so much for having me.
Of course. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a good day. How are you guys?
We're good.
No,
I mean,
we're
I could
good,
totally use a
yeah.
massage. That's good, right?
Everyone can.
You want to come and help us out here?
I'll be there after this.
Okay.
Awesome. Melody to the rescue. So this first question for you.
Yeah, let's just dive right into it,
Yeah.
huh?
So
Sure.
tell us about your journey in massage therapy. How did you get started? What made you interested, and where you are right now?
Yeah. So when I was little, I always would massage like my family, my sisters, my mom. And granted, when I was young, they'd be like, "You're the best massage therapist. Like you should go into it," mainly because they just wanted a massage. But it was always something I enjoyed to do because I love helping people. I really started enjoying the aspects of just the healing process that you can make in the body. So growing up, I kind of swayed away from massage and went more towards like art therapy route. I ended up going to school at Harper College, Palatine, and when I was just going to class one day and I looked over and saw a bulletin board advertising for their massage program, and it sparked my interest for their intro class. So I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, see what it's about. The intro class changed my life right then and there.
Wow.
I fell in love with the teachers that were putting on their presentation. They were telling me about their journey through massage in the most holistic way from the start.
Mhm.
So it was at that moment, I'm like, this is it. This is for me. My teacher did a lot of studying in Hawaii, and that's also where I'm from. I was born in Oahu. And I also have an uncle and a cousin who do massage therapy on the island. So all of these connections were just screaming at me, this is my path.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. So the schooling was incredible. I loved all of the teachings they had, other than just massage in a technical way. It was so much more than that in the holistic aspects of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I learned so much more than I thought I would with massage, and it continued my journey to now I do my own private practice. And then I also work for a company called The Now. And there I've only grown to now a management position and training other massage therapists that come and work
Wow.
for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats. That's
Incredible.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you.
And I should have probably mentioned this at the beginning, but me and Melody actually go way back. We used to work together back in our schooling days. We worked at a restaurant called Big Bowl. And if y'all haven't been to Big Bowl before, it is
Yes.
Chicago based, but it is like delicious Asian food.
Mhm.
But yeah, me and Melody used to work back there during when we were at school. And I was
Mhm.
with Melody when she was going to become a massage therapist. And I just remember every time we would be on her work shift, she would just like almost geek out, just so passionate about massage
Yeah.
therapy. Like after every class, she's
Yeah.
like, all right, Katie, like I learned this about the body. I learned this about the anatomy of the body.
Yes.
Or like you're just, you radiate what I would envision a massage therapist to be. Like you
Oh my
preach
gosh.
it, you are passionate about it, you are in love with it. And I feel like when I think of finding somebody to trust my body with and to trust my
Mhm.
space with, you completely embody that. So
Yeah.
it's
Thank
just
you.
so cool to see you grow from just starting off as a student to where you are now, where you're
Mhm.
training other massage therapists. So kudos.
That's
to
awesome. You remember that too, like me coming to work and telling you all my experiences. 'Cause I know I do that like with everyone, but it's just funny, like from the start.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, I got to see like the seed being planted for you.
Yes.
So do you have like a specific clientele you work with? And is there like a specific massage therapy practice you do?
So I connect with really everybody. I'm really good at being able to change my technique or depending on the client really. So I have clients that are like 6'5", huge muscles that want deep tissue and stretch, and I can do it and they love me somehow. And then I also have clients that just want a really light relaxation touch just to unwind, more in like a meditative state. So I can really vary my technique. I like working more with like specialized cases, more specific problems. I like more of a challenge in that way. And then just kind of keeps my brain going. But ultimately, I kind of work with everybody, just depending on the person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So because massage therapy is this really powerful healing modality, a holistic healing modality, and because every individual is so different, it's a case-by-case scenario. Do you find, or at least from what your experiences, do you find like kind of getting an introduction or like a background of that client helps you in how you work that next however long that you're with that client for through massage?
Yeah, totally. Every client is so different in their journey, what they're going through. I have a lot of clients that started by they have a lot of like specific things going on, and a doctor would tell them something that's like completely wrong. So arthritis is something that a lot of doctors, they just will give you medication, this and that. But massage is actually a really great technique to help relieve that pain. So it depends. I've helped a lot of people in that way to just kind of guide them in more of a direction. Like you don't need to listen to just what like a doctor says in that medical standpoint. Like sometimes absolutely, but just letting them know there's other routes available where you don't have to put things in your body that don't need to be.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, Melody, because that's really the purpose of our podcast. That's why we started Health Beats, was so that we can give tools and resources to our audience to realize there's so many ways of healing. There's no one set rule book of how to do it, but here are some tools that have helped us in our journey, what is out there. And, you know, medication and prescriptions can come in handy at some points, but that's not always the end all be all scenario. So thank you for bringing that out there. And how you've helped people. I'm sure when people hear that they have arthritis, that's scary for them, but you give them hope that no, this could be changed. We can fix this. We can take away pain. You don't have to live in this kind of pain. There could be something better for you.
And I just want to also mention, maybe not cure it, but manage it in a different way, rather than just relying on pain medications with side effects that can lead to other health problems in the future. You have something as less invasive as massage therapy, which is great. And I also wanted to bring a story too. I had read a story about a woman who had breast cancer, and she did not want to take chemotherapy. So she was massaged by a Chinese massage therapist, and the breast cancer had diminished.
Wow.
Size. Yeah.
Incredible. See, there are so many different ways that massage helps. And there's so, like you said, so many different modalities and different routes to take with it. Chinese medicine is incredible. I'm going to be looking into that as my next continuing education. So I want to do more shiatsu and shiatsu.
Okay, well, when we're going to do another podcast episode then if you're up for it. Talking about Chinese medicine.
Definitely. I would love that.
So kind of going off of Hanan's story about this individual who had breast cancer, do you have any favorites kind of client stories? I know you can't say names or maybe get too personal, but is there something that stands out to you that like just made you love your job that much more?
Okay, well, first off, I feel so lucky because I have such an amazing relationship with all of my clients. Like, I get along with all of them so well, and almost all of them are now close friends to me. And I'm so grateful for that. But I have one girl I was seeing at my job now, and she was in school to be a dental hygienist. So she's a jam-packed schedule. She has a lot of limited range of motion in her neck, a lot of tension in the upper shoulders. And she started seeing me, and we created just a relationship on trust. And I would explain to her just some stretches to do, deep tissue, how often to get massages. And she started seeing me like once a month. And after the third month, she was like, I didn't realize how important massage is and how much better I feel, how much of a necessity it is for me in my everyday life. So her gratitude to me was amazing enough.
Yeah.
But then she wasn't able to afford massages anymore, with school and everything. And then it turned out she got a job as reception at my place of work so that she can continue to get massages and like pay for school and do the whole thing.
Oh,
she was like,
that's awesome.
I can't leave
full
you.
Circle.
Yeah. She was like, I don't want a different therapist. She was like, I want to stay with you. She was like, so I got a job here. I'm like, you're so cute.
Wow. You have magic.
It was
hands.
awesome.
I want to go see you now.
Yes. For sure.
And so as a yoga teacher, coming from a yoga background, I realized through my clients and my students that we carry a lot of our emotions and our tensions in our body. Right.
Yes,
and it can come out in physical ways, and injuries and ailments can come from holding that tension in that part of the body. For me, for example, I know when I am highly stressed, I hold my tension all in my upper back and my neck. So if I'm stressed, I am in so much pain there.
Yeah.
So for you as a massage therapist, do you see especially now as a yoga teacher, I see a lot of people are now they have a little bit more of a hunched back because they're on phones, they're on their computers all day long. I notice that there's a lot of tension built in the body there. Do you see anything? Has there been kind of a common denominator that's been popping up for you as a massage therapist?
Oh, totally. That's the number one postural thing is you're working at a desk or a computer all day. Or not even that, you're on your phone all day, you're in this hunched forward, your shoulders are rolled in, making your back muscles overstretched, and then tightening your front chest pec muscles. So with that's how you get a lot of knots and trigger points in the upper back when the muscle gets really overstretched. So it's good. I mean, like everybody, I hear this with all my clients, do you stretch? And they go, I should more. I know I should be. And we all know that we should be, but it's about really doing it because I want to make this my biggest point that stretching and moving the body is one of the most important things you can do for health. Because if you can be mobile and you are stretching out the tight areas of your body, then problems won't form and you'll be out of pain easier. But so many people just are in that position, even forearms, wrists, carpal tunnel, all connecting into the neck and in this plexus of nerves, they get impinged and then you have nerve pain. So it's all connected to literally just being in that computer position or the rolled shoulder position.
Yeah, that sedentary lifestyle. So do you find like if you work on, say, somebody who's super active, like an athlete versus somebody who has that office job, is there such a difference in their body, or can that athlete still carry a lot of tension in their back or certain areas of their body? Like how do the bodies kind of compare depending on their lifestyle?
It's interesting because every person is different on how they carry their stress. So the athlete's tension does feel different to me, especially if they have bigger muscles, they more have that defined muscle tone versus someone at a desk that is just more mild of a muscle tone. It's more of just like their postural problems in the body. So I can see a difference, but it also depends. I have athletes who also work at a desk job and now they kind of have all of it in one. And with that, it depends if they're stretching or doing their self-care after. So you're an athlete, you're getting your exercise, you're lifting weights, but you're still not moving. You're just doing like lifting little motions on building muscle, like maybe running, but actually moving the body around and putting it in different positions is what's really going to help you to relieve the tension and the stress that's built up.
makes
That answer your
sense.
question?
Yeah,
I like that
absolutely.
you mentioned self-care. Is there any massages that we can do on ourselves at home or anywhere else?
Yeah, totally. I mean, for me, what I do for self-care is I'm massaging 5 to 6 days a week, and a lot of them are deep tissue. So I'm exerting a lot of energy into my work. And like I said, I stretch 20 to 30 minutes at least every day when I can. And not even just yoga. Like if you don't know how to do yoga, I think that's fine. Just beginning, just like moving the body. And then you can slowly get into other techniques with it. But stretching, I'll get like a tennis ball and I'll lay on it and like hit those trigger points down the back along the spine is a good way. They have the massage guns now where you can just kind of put it on a point of the body and it just does all the work. And those are really amazing, actually.
Yeah.
I want to look into getting one.
Are they
But I
safe
hear
to
those
use
too.
if you're not experienced with massage?
I would say I think it comes with instructions. A lot of friends I have got one and they don't know what they're doing. So I think it comes with like instructions on where to use it in the body. I would say use it on like the bigger muscle bellies. Like don't try to do it on your neck or, on the front of your neck. I would stick to like the back, as long as you're not going over bones or the neck area is most important. Then I think you're okay. But really targeting like those sore muscles and not for a long time. I would say either just like 10 minutes or so just to kind of break something up, and then stretching it out when you're done working on it is really beneficial too.
Okay, that's good to know.
So I think like what I'm hearing is what is so important for the body and for your health and for your healing is to keep the blood flowing. Yeah. And that's what massage therapy does is it brings blood, it brings the flow, because I'm sure there's a lot of energy blockages within the body. It kind of goes back to the chakra system. And so what massage therapy does, it's like this therapeutic touch to kind of release those blockages, get that blood flowing back to that area, get that rhythm back going in your body.
Yes. It's so important. And a lot of people don't realize where the stagnation is or what's blocked. And there's so many different, like we were saying, so many different types of massages. Emotional release and Reiki, all of those energy balancing massages are great for that too. If you're experiencing some sort of trauma, you hold a lot in your stomach, for instance, there's visceral massage that can help release that and take that out. And you might cry, you might feel like a sudden rush of emotion, but getting it out, you feel a world better, like more clear, your mind is open more. And that's from massage. Yeah.
But I like that you said that it's not just a physical modality for the body, but it's an emotional release too, especially because parts of your body that have never really have been given attention. Like I remember when I was in a massage before, I never pay attention to my ears. And they massaged my ears, and I don't know what it was, but I felt like I just like mentally, emotionally released something of just like neglecting a certain part of my body. And now that it finally got like attention, even some love in that area, it was it was beautiful. And it wasn't anything like I had a traumatic experience prior. I can only imagine for somebody who might be going through some trauma in their life, and they have that therapeutic, almost loving, trusting touch can be
absolutely
this phenomenal relief.
That is one of the biggest parts too, is the trust. So if you're doing an emotional release session, you can only go so far with that. You have to trust and be all in with your therapist. And I think that's why I have so many people that come and see me, is because that initial consultation is when you decide, when you see the vibes from the therapist and the client you're working with. And from the start, it's like you want them to be able to trust you. You want them to feel comfortable when they're on their table. And that's where it's going to start. So for an emotional release, it's even more so super important. Yeah. And I think if you're into that as a therapist, you know that. And I think that's where you gravitate towards.
Yeah. That is so interesting. Yeah. I enjoy this because I feel like as a nurse, I take care of a lot of adult and geriatric patients who have these chronic diseases. And oftentimes their comorbidities are depression, anxiety. And I'm just thinking, did they really have depression, anxiety before the chronic conditions, or did the chronic conditions lead to depression, anxiety, or did their depression, anxiety from some sort of situation that they experience in life lead them to have these chronic illnesses? And I'm just a firm believer that like your emotional well-being can affect your physical well-being. So it's really nice to hear how massage therapy can not only address your physical tension that you're holding in your body, but the emotional tension that's connected to that. So that is just so cool to hear. And Katie's story about the ears is also interesting.
You wouldn't think about it, like something that's so subtle as your ears, but just to
the ears are also reflexology points too.
Yes.
You know, like the feet, the hands, and the ears. So you can be hitting different parts and connecting to different aspects of the body too that you're not recognizing.
Oh, and I'm glad you made that point. You realize just how connected the body is. And I always put this as a yoga teacher, your body is an ecosystem. When one thing is off, if one thing is not getting attention, it disrupts the whole rhythm of the body.
Yeah, for sure. It's just so interesting. Yeah. And just something for the audience to hear that your emotional well-being is connected to your physical well-being.
Yeah. Well,
more than anything.
So do you have any favorite client stories to share?
I know you mentioned about the receptionist.
Yes. I do have another couple I saw. One of my first jobs, I was working in South Loop at Elements, and this couple would come in and I would see the wife, and then the husband would see a different therapist. And right away, we just kind of connected. She was also born in Hawaii, so we had that to kind of share, and just a lot of like fun stories. So we became close pretty quick. And then I left and I offered my home services to them. So I would just go to her place and see her. Her husband was still at Elements where I was working. And then eventually the therapist he was seeing, she quit, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to give her a try. So I would go to their house, and they ended up just buying a table. So they provided everything for me. So I literally just show up at their house, and they are so appreciative of my services. I helped him. He had knee replacement, so I helped him a lot with his mobility with that, a shoulder problem, and their love for me is incredible because she's a flight attendant, he's a pilot, so they'll help me get tickets to see my sister in California, or they'll help my sister come here to visit us in Chicago. And it's just like, these are the types of clients that I've attracted, that I'm so grateful for, because they're incredible.
And I find too, because Hanan and I was Hanan's health coach, and through that we became some of the best of friends. And I find that when you're there for each other in that health kind of way, it's this really deep connection. And I'm sure like you said, you're seeing that so often with your own clients, that it just deepens that connection, knowing that you're bettering each other's health in that way.
Because there's also the aspect of massage where you have people that just want to relax, not talk, get into their state of mind. But then you have people that their way of releasing is talking the whole time. And so I've found with this woman in particular, she told me like the other day, we're super close. She was like, I never talk in my massages. She's like, but with you, like, I love just telling you everything, just releasing whatever is going on in my head. And I'm like, absolutely. Like, however you want to release your problems, your busy mind, I'm healing you physically, but then in your mental state, you're also kind of releasing that. So everyone's just different. And however you have to do it.
So do you find, if somebody were interested to try massage therapy for the first time, would you say that one session can really make a difference? Or would you say that they have to go a few times? Like, what would be kind of like your typical protocol that you would suggest?
I personally think if you have the right therapist, like you have the connection with them, you feel safe with them, their technique is matching, the therapist is listening to what the client has communicated for technique and all of that. I think the first time is enough, because I've experienced that. A lot of first timers that have come to my work never had massage before, don't really know what to expect. I'm extra thorough with how the session will go, listening to what they want, making sure pressure's okay. And at the end, they're like, you've changed my life. They're like, and I was like, come and see me again. And they have this whole different idea on massage now where they're like, yes, I think I need to bring this into my routine once a month, every couple of months even. Sometimes it does take somebody a couple of times, maybe just if they don't have that right therapist. But I think for the most part, the first time can really show you how great and beneficial it is to the body.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just speaking from my own experience with massage, I know there's been a few times where I've gotten a massage and I've actually felt more sore the next day. Can you explain that? And I've heard that could be quite common, but that's not something to be like afraid of, right?
Right. So that's like my biggest thing with massage therapists is some of them have this idea that you need to go deep into the client. They all want deep tissue and a hard massage is the best massage. And I disagree with that. It depends on if it's your first massage. I don't recommend deep tissue. I would recommend doing a medium pressure, see how your body reacts, because everybody reacts very differently. So a lot of people will be sore if they've never had one before. Their tissues have never experienced that type of intense work. And now they're trying to heal again. So if you're going to a massage to heal your muscles, you don't want to traumatize them even more. So it's also about communicating with your therapist, and your therapist should be communicating with you on pressure. So I'll always say, do you like the pressure deeper, lighter? Do you like where I'm at? So they kind of have to answer. But if you want a deep tissue, it is very beneficial. Don't get me wrong. Like some people do need it just to rebalance, recharge the muscles, get those toxins out in a more intense way, for sure. That's what you're looking for, and you know that's what you want. But if that's not the direction.
And that's because I did experience that pain, what that means is that there was toxins that were released from my muscle into my body, correct?
Right. Okay. Yes. And it's just repairing, the muscles go through so much every day. Our lives are insane. So the amount our muscles are working, they're building up all of these toxins, all these everyday life occurrences inside of the muscle strands itself. So releasing that is a toll on the body. So that's why drinking a lot of water is super important to flush it out and getting rid of the toxins after a massage.
So it's like a detox almost for the body. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And for those people who have done detoxes in the past, whether it's maybe like a juicing detox or a food type of detox, it can be very draining on the body because it is this release of toxins that you've been carrying this whole time. And it's just letting go of that. It's almost like a shock to the body initially, but then as time goes on, you feel this just like, this release, like I can breathe again.
Yeah. And then the more massages you get, the more your body's used to it. And it won't be as bad every time because you're flushing out the toxins. And you're like, if you're getting it once a month, I think that's ideal. Once a month is great if you can afford that for massage. That's why I try to make prices affordable, because I want people to not be swayed away because I think it's a luxury. It's a form of healthcare, and I think everyone should have the opportunity to get one.
Oh, I love that.
If only insurance will cover that.
Right. That too.
Right. Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. I definitely need to do more massages is what I'm realizing. I need to step up for my once a year massage. Usually I treat myself on my birthday, like that week, to get a massage, and that's it. So I think I definitely need to step up my game a little bit more. I don't know. How about you, Hanan? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, well, I hardly take massages. I've only had one in my lifetime.
Well, yes, come and see me.
Do you have any last thoughts for the audience about massage therapy, or a message you want to share?
I would just say keep up with your self-care. try to get massages, not every month, but just try to get massages, see what it can do for you, how it can change your life. See if you can even change your meditative state too, just by like deep breathing, that type of self-care. It's all combined into massage in a way. So let's say just focusing on your self-care. Let's get our heads out of our busy lives, focus on ourselves for a little bit. We all need to take at least an hour.
Oh, I like that. We all deserve at least an hour a month, right? Just for ourselves, treat ourselves, give back to our body. And especially here in the States, I find too that it is very uncommon for us to do that as often. When I traveled across the world, it's almost like it's a ritual in other countries of the world that, you know, every month women would go to the spa together, and that would be a form of self-care, and that was prided on. That was part of their culture. And almost I find here in the States that if you do that, it's like, oh, well, that's a luxury. But it shouldn't be seen as a luxury. That should be seen as, no, this is the norm. This is self-care. This is what my body deserves.
Right.
So I'm glad that you're trying to change that. And that's a beautiful message that you're conveying.
Yes, thank you. That's what it has to be.
Well, for our audience who's really enjoyed this episode and hearing from Melody, thank you again so much, Melody, for sharing your passion and teaching us a little bit more about massage therapy. Melody does work, if you're in the Chicagoland area, she does work at the Now Massage Boutique. There's 2 locations in the South Loop and Wicker Park, but Melody also does in-home visits as well, right?
Yes, I do.
So you can reach Melody at Melody Lien 6, MELODY LIEN 6 at gmail.com. Right?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
It's our pleasure. Thank you. I look forward to when you study Chinese medicine, and we'll have to do another fun podcast about that. I'm sure there's so much really cool information you'll be able to share.
Absolutely. I'll let you know.
All right, Melody, take care. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. You too. Bye.